Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather updates from the First Alert Desk. Now, coming up tonight in Kinston, there will be a city council meeting to discuss the upcoming budget. During tonight's regular council meeting that begins at 5:30, council members will meet to consider the proposed budget, which has drawn a lot of attention from city residents because of a potential increase in property taxes. The proposed budget totals $133,038,055 with a proposed general operating property tax rate of 73 cents per $100 of assessed value, a 4-cent difference from the current 77 cents. Now, during a public hearing on June 3rd, residents expressed their concerns about the tax rate and its impact on their property tax bills. Kinston City Manager Rhonda Barwick spoke with WITN last month and said that although the proposed tax rate is down from the previous year, many residents will likely see increased property tax bills as Lenoir County completed a countywide property reevaluation, leading to a 35% increase in the city's property tax base. Mayor Don Hardy told WITN during the public hearing that he and his staff are doing the very best they can to make sure that they are competitive in the market as it relates to retaining employees and hiring employees for public services. Tonight's meeting will be at Kinston City Hall, located at 207 East King Street. And now we want to turn our attention to the G7 summit that President Trump departed abruptly today due to the ongoing tensions between Israel and Iran. NBC's Alice Barr has more.
President Trump returning to Washington a day early, cutting short his time with world leaders at the G7 summit in Canada to focus on the growing conflict between Israel and Iran.
We're looking for better, not a ceasefire. A real end, not a ceasefire, an end.
The president called for the National Security Council to be ready in the Situation Room, according to an administration official, as he weighs whether to help Israel in its mission to destroy Iran's nuclear program.
I hope their program's going to be wiped out long before then.
Or keep pushing for a diplomatic deal to stop Iran from developing a nuclear weapon.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
President Trump posting that Iran should have already signed a deal, adding, quote, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran without further explanation.
Is there a threat or is there incoming? What was the thinking on the full evacuation?
I want people to be safe. And that's always possible. A thing like that could happen. I just want people to be safe.
Israel says it now has full air superiority over Iran, striking Iranian state TV live on air in a show of force after damaging multiple nuclear facilities and killing several top generals. Iran is firing back, promising to step up its attacks. The U.S. joined G7 leaders calling for de-escalation, even as 2 U.S. officials say the U.S. is moving more military assets into the region while the world braces for what's next. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Thank you very much, Alice, for that report. We now turn our attention to your weather forecast, where today is yet again another wet day. However, through the middle of the day, we're actually going to be experiencing a little bit of a break in the rain showers, and we'll see some sunshine. A nice little break is just what the doctor ordered after, again, a soggy day yesterday and a soggy night last night. Now, we are still some of the showers try and work their way out of the east. We're not completely done with the rain quite just yet, but we're certainly trending in that direction. Let's zoom the picture in a little bit closer on what we've got right now over the Outer Banks, pretty much from Oregon Inlet all the way down to Hatteras. We've got some light to moderate rain showers coming down. Those will last for about another 30, maybe 45 minutes, certainly a little bit longer for those of you watching near the northern end of the Outer Banks. Those of you closer to Hatteras will likely be done with those raindrops here within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Also keeping an eye on some very light rolling across portions of Pitt and Beaufort counties. Those will continue to work their way across Beaufort and into Hyde County, but again, not much there. Air temperatures today going to be getting hot. We're talking 90s hot. Get ready for, again, more of a summertime feel to today's forecast. We want to say good morning to Amanda Bloom. Thank you so much for tuning in from Maysville and Jacksonville. Of course, yeah, the heat is set to bump up today, Amanda. It is going to rise, and it will feel even hotter thanks to the presence of the humidity. That has not really changed since yesterday, and probably not going to be changing a whole lot over the next couple months. Here's what we've got for this afternoon. Air temperatures reaching into the low 90s will likely feel like we're in the mid to possibly upper 90s. It is going to feel quite warm out there, again, especially when you factor in the added sunshine. Now, tomorrow will be an even hotter day. In fact, tomorrow's heat will be enough to prompt a first alert weather day. Now, because of the heat and humidity combo, we can't completely rule out, again, a few afternoon showers and storms. Heat-driven storms that usually pop up this time of year because of that humidity combo. So as we head through your 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock hours, there will be some scattered thunderstorms around. But once we get past sunset, a lot of those showers and thunderstorms will fade away. Then we get into your Wednesday morning, early on, mostly, if not completely, sunny skies. Maybe a few passing clouds at times in the afternoon. But again, it will be hot. Again, a first alert weather day because of the heat present coming up for tomorrow. There is still that chance. Maybe a stray thunderstorm or two could certainly pop up tomorrow afternoon to tomorrow evening. But coverage is going to be fairly minimal. I'm only anticipating maybe a handful of storms at most. Now, here's kind of a look at exactly what we've got going on. We stay in what is called the warm sector of these frontal systems. So that is on the south side of the warm front and on the east side or ahead of the cold front. Between the two fronts, that's where we see a lot of heat, humidity, and instability that thunderstorms feed on. So that's why we will maintain at least a chance of rain and thunderstorms in the forecast as we head through at least the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, and most likely even Thursday. Thursday evening, we should be tracking that cold front there across eastern North Carolina. Will give us a decent shot of some storms there, but will also, again, bring with it quite a bit of heat out ahead of that front. Yes, it is a cold front, but that means all of the air ahead of it is hot and toasty. So here's a look again at your full 8-day forecast. Again, very hot coming up next week, but even then, over the next couple days, we are going to be experiencing some very temperatures. Well, that's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today, and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.